Hey guys, this is Sean with Solis Review. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share, help keep this video channel growing. I appreciate it. Okay, tonight we're going to be going over the SpiderMan premium format figure from Sideshow Collectables. This is generally considered a pretty hot Spider-Man, especially in the EX version, which we have with us tonight. Okay, so let's start with some background. This is Spider-Man. If you're not familiar with Spider-Man, why are you watching this channel? I don't know. But Spider-Man is Peter Parker, who was bit by a radioactive spider. Well, depending on which comic version it is. But spider bites him, mutates him, gives him spider-like abilities. And yes, this is a action scene, obviously, where he is trying to avoid some explosions of what looks to me like green goblin pumpkins. Possibly another goblin, but I believe these are supposed to be green goblin pumpkins. Okay, concept, does it work for us? It looks exactly straight out of the comics for me. This is his pretty classic costume. It looks like an exact representation from the comics for me. And I think for most people, they appreciate this Spider-Man quite a bit. Let's see. I will start with some paint and design at the bottom. It is on a hex base here. Octagonal base. I think the bottom part is pretty boring. It's just some wood in a hexagon. It doesn't really have any attachment or meaning for me. It's the only statue I have that does this. I'm not a fan of that. I think maybe we could figure out a better way, but it is what it is. Next up is the smoke fire explosion. All in all, it's good. I mean, I don't know what I would necessarily change. Sometimes the shape and maybe some of the paint seems a little off for me. I've seen a lot of repaints of it. Some doing it darker, some doing it lighter, some doing more shadow in. You know, it's just a big lumpy mess form for me. I can look past it. Before I owned it, I actually never noticed that there were Goblin Bombs in it. But the Goblin Bombs do somewhat add to it, although I think the logic of where they're at up here, where the explosions down here, seems odd. Maybe there was ones that were earlier and these are secondary ones going off. But either way, seems to be breaking off this girder, steel girder kind of a segment here, and Spider-Man, using his quick reflexes, is hopping over it. The hook piece comes off, and I'm actually kind of amazed at the engineering of this. It's all really solid pieces that fit in there. This screams like if it wasn't done well, this would have a lot of bending and leaning issues, but so far it seems really well constructed, engineered. The girder I actually really like. It has a lot of details, character to the grayness of it. It looks like kind of an uncomfortably steel and green mixture, maybe a little rust color in there, and I see a lot of flecks of paint and texture that I feel like I've touched walls and girders like this and it would feel real dirty. So for me, tactily, it visually like brings in a lot of realism here. The hook seems good. The metallic it's very subdued, but like it looks like it's 30, 40 years old, and this bomb was all it needed to rip it to pieces here, the whole metal. So I like the transition of what would be like a light on the girder showing the light from the explosion, since there's no lights built into this piece, they kind of had to. I appreciate that they did not extend that effect onto Spider-Man at all. I've seen some pieces that had that. The one that comes first to mind is the Vader looking over Mustafa lava piece. I mean, that's highly regarded as a piece. I guess I prefer light effects being real light effects versus paint effects, but I am actually excited to someday see that Vader piece in hand. Going up here, Spider-Man himself. I am very pleased with the paint. I know some people think he looks dark, and then in other places they think he looks light. I think it looks great. I think he looks a little slightly dingy, but the brightness is still there. It looks like he's been in a scrap, a dirty fight. There's not any damage on him, just as far as like the lighting that produces. I guess I could imagine this with an explosion down here and that maybe more subdued lighting on him. The sculpt is fantastic. It looks very lifelike to me. I even see areas where the suit looks like it's bunched in certain places, like a real suit would, like spandex. Sometimes the texture, I guess, would be my only, if I had to find a knock. The texture of the webbings in the red area has like physical depth to it, which seems odd to me in the costume, but that's just my own personal preference. The Spidey symbol looks great. For the portrait, I think it looks dead on. This Spider-Man for the EX comes with a squinted shot where he's aiming, and then also a webbing shooting from hand EX. I find that really odd that they made that the EX, that the regular has no webbing. I mean, I just think that it would just be an automatic that comes with it, but I guess you got to make an EX somehow, right? So yeah, that is probably what makes this EX version so hotly sought after. Mine actually just accidentally came to, I don't think the seller even knew it was the EX, and I got it for quite a steal. So beyond that, let's see, for the height, let's see, at the highest point it is essentially exactly 25 inches. For the width, let's go with maybe just under 13 inches. And for any depth, I'm going to go from his foot to web is just about 12. So very small footprint. This is my first and only Spidey piece. I could see myself having a black symbiote suit. I love Venom, and black suit Spidey is one of my favorites. That new Sideshow piece that was just shown at the Comic-Con, that may be one I do. I got a lot of pre-orders right now, so that might not actually happen right away, but I do like it a lot. So if I was going to go with a black suit, I'd probably do that. So yeah, huge fan of this. Overall, I'd say it's a solid piece, and definitely worth purchasing. And so if you have any questions, please hit me up. I love chatting with you guys, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe and share if you can. Have a great night. This is Sean, Solis Review.